Welcome everyone to the 2025 Welcome to the Jungle 10th edition presented by East Coast Metal Roofing. Starting off the tournament here at Meadowbrook this year, and we're going to be going into Coggs for round 2 and back to Meadowbrook for round 3. But before I get any further, I want to also introduce the main man, the guy in the booth with me, Kyle Moriarty. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am doing wonderful. I wish I was in a booth with you right now, but unfortunately, we're each in our own respective comfortable homes. But we're watching some great disc golf, so.
It's the virtual booth, my man. It's the virtual booth. And good disc golf we're watching, presented by our awesome sponsors. You just saw them. First Print Available, Discmania, Amplify Insurance. Thank you so much to our event sponsors for making this possible. And we had a very special host this year, Connor Spilman. While Bob Kulchuk was doing the TD responsibilities at Coggs Hall, Connor Spilman was helping with the Welcome to the Jungle responsibilities as a TD. So thanks and big shout out to him. Why don't you introduce our lead card or our feature card here?
Yeah, our feature card here, there's Dylan Capaciolli. He's going to lead us off first, 1015 rated from Boston. Cooke Tarlton, 1003 rated. He's a former science college guy from out here, but he's from California. Then you got myself, living from Holden, Massachusetts, 1008 rated. And our 2024 champion, Andres Ripley. Excited to play around with these gentlemen. I cannot wait for this round to get going and to watch him rewatch some of these shots and relive some of these moments.
Exciting course, and you guys are going to be able to air it out right away on hole 1 here. 503 feet. OB on the right-hand side that they've added near the green, as well as off the tee. The off the tee shouldn't come into play. Most players are going to be landing right around here, and then they're going to be actually pumping it out to where the rock island is. It's a very cool new feature, hole 1 here.
Yeah, so that rock island, it's not a true island. It's kind of a peninsula out to it, and then it's just a circle of rocks that make it a very visually pleasing here. This hole came in at that 0.44 above par, so holes that are playing above par. There were 15 birdies on this hole. Not going to say if anybody in this card did it, but there were 15. So I think a really good change to this hole instead of just the basket out in the middle of the field. That was kind of a extremely easy. You'd feel disappointed if you didn't birdie it.
And Team Tank, let's give it up for Dylan Capaciolli!
We hear some boos for Dylan. That must be a lot of his Team Tank fellow friends there.
Oh yeah, there's no team like Team Tank that just they roll deep everywhere you go. Everywhere that Dylan's playing, someone's yelling Tank and booing him. It's awesome.
Throwing his D2, switching sponsors on the off season. He went from a mixed bag to now throwing only Prodigy, right?
Yeah, no, he was trying to get on the Innova train on the Dark Hollow coattails, and he decided, let's go Prodigy, and I've played with him a couple times this year, and he's throwing those discs really well. So good for him. It seems like it's a really symbiotic relationship right now, which is great.
I can't believe how quickly he was able to learn those discs. And here we go, Cooke Tarlton. You might not know him, but if you want to see other footage, we actually have footage from him, with him from the Vineyard 2023. And other than that, he hasn't really been playing because he took a year off. I think he was in California studying, like you were saying.
It was California, and then he went to Peru as part of his college. So he spent a long time down in South America there, and he was saying that there wasn't disc golf, so he got into bodybuilding, and he added like 30-something pounds of muscle. So he is an absolute specimen. I'm happy he's wearing a nice form-fitting shirt so we can just appreciate what he's got going on and all the hard work,
Yeah, and not to be outdone, and you're a big muscular guy yourself, Waz. Great throw there. What did you throw there?
Oh, that's just a Star Destroyer. Just really focusing on placement, amped up first tee shot of the round, and letting that tournament adrenaline push me that extra 50 feet. And man, what a great, beautiful scene here. You can see Wachusett Reservoir and Wachusett Dam in the background. I love Meadowbrook. It's special.
I was going to say, you guys got a pretty calm day. This is pretty rare to have almost no wind from what I can see right now.
Yeah, conditions, everybody's feeling it and they're like, man, these are the conditions that everybody's going to feast in. We're going to score. You're not dealing with this crazy wind that can pick up here. Andres threw a nice shot there. He's going to be, he's playing for par. Dylan's forehand smash.
Yeah, throwing another D2 there. Pretty aggressive.
Beautiful. Yeah, the hole's far if Dylan's going driver, because he can absolutely rip on some stuff.
What are you throwing there?
That is a Halo Star Destroyer, and I actually got a good hold of it. I was a little bit further than normal, and that puts me a little bit deep of the circle, which I've never been before.
And here's Cooke Tarlton. This is going to be his Lucid Justice. He throws a mixed bag as well. What an unfortunate roll. What the heck?
Yeah, that was really tough to watch in person, and just seeing such a good shot. And if those rocks weren't there, that's skipping and being parked.
Yeah, it's absolutely parked. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, he hit a rock and then rolled OB.
It's a cool element aesthetically, but I guess there's a little bit of danger, obviously, with the there.
Thinking that you have to skip and either skip in front of them and hit them softly, or try to skip over them, or skip inside. And this is the furthest putt here for birdie, and that would be a great bird to get.
Yeah, good putt for Dylan.
Ooh. Yeah, that is a great putt to start the round off with. That's kind of just outside the circle, almost a bonus, kind of checking to see how you're putting and feeling that day. And when stuff starts dropping for Dylan from outside the circle, it's going to be a great scoring day for him.
Yeah, dangerous for other players, but great scoring day for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's putting with his P-modal S's, so if anybody wanted to know.
Yeah, I know he will switch around a little bit. He has those. He'll go PA1s. I'm not sure if he's truly solidified one or the other. And
sometimes people switch depending on circle 2, circle 1 as well. Sometimes it helps with the stability. Here you go. Come on, let's get that birdie opportunity. Unfortunate miss, but that was right on the line. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, just a little uncommitted. I will say that this is almost a brand new putting stroke for me. After
really?
Tournament, a couple weeks ago, I just went back to the drawing board and said I can't be doing this anymore, and tried to really clean it up.
What tournament was that?
FDR. I had a couple pretty tough putting woes, and even in the Vineyard this year, I had a couple tough putting strokes. So really trying to change that. But hole 2 here, 405, an absolute power player dream. Hyzer pop. OB right side, OB long, OB creek. So if you don't have 400 feet, players are thinking about laying up. Everybody on this lead card here, though, and almost everybody in the MPO field, nobody's concerned about that short creek. But this is a great hole with this elevated basket. It plays hard sometimes.
It plays hard with the wind. You guys got a very calm day, so I expect to see a lot of great drives, pretty close to the circle 1 here.
Yeah, Dylan, he loves the forehand on basically every hole.
Yeah, why not? I mean, when you throw a D2 400 or 500 feet, depending on how much power you put into it, I mean, that looked effortless.
Yeah, he's very gifted with his length, and he's a great player, man. I just love watching him play. I love the fact that he's finally committing to forehand. I'd love to see him bust out the backhand more and get the trust, but he's doing with what works.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because I think most of the rounds that he's throwing 1040, 1050, it's all forehands. He doesn't even think about a backhand.
No.
And Andres had a really good shot there.
Yeah. Andres is showing you how to play the hole. He's throwing Destroyer here, gets a perfect little flip up.
Perfect amount of power, too.
He's He knew it. He was offended. We were talking about Dylan's power, and he just goes just deep the crates. What a great controlled shot from Andres.
What are you throwing there? What happened?
That's my Halo Star Destroyer, and that was just yanked wide.
Whoa! Did the wind take it at the end there or something?
I was expecting the wind to do something, and with such a lull wind day, there was no wind reaction, and so yeah, I'm out of bounds quite early, and almost worst case scenario.
Yeah, and you had to take it back all the way out there. Wow, you didn't get any further than that?
No, it was one of those things where we walked up to it. I was OB right, and it was OB long as well.
Like, dang, dude.
Yeah, listen, adrenaline tournament is real.
It is, especially that first few holes. I mean, you either have it or you don't,
Yeah.
And clearly you have it.
Oh, I had it all right. Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I went OB on just pure hyzer.
Yeah, 430. It probably played like 440 that way you just threw there. Oh, Dylan, that's a mistake right there.
Oh, yeah, that's that tentative. That's that. Dylan's probably been bit by this basket location once or twice before.
Definitely can feel the
smart
jitters
choice
on that one. Bogey save. I mean, that was a little tough for you, but that was a good bogey save.
Yeah, I was happy with that bogey right.
And Cooke for his birdie, getting back on the train. Oh no, was that no, that was for par? I thought he got up there. Maybe I missed the shot.
Yeah, that was his par. He just kind of pitched up from some apple trees.
Gotcha. All right, well, Andres Ripley getting the closest and getting the birdie. So that was a really good play for him. Our defending champion is back in the mix here, just like that. Hole 3. This is the straight shooter, 350 feet. OB on the right-hand side, which really shouldn't come into play. And it's just really tough to get the birdie because you have to sneak through these trees that you just saw the drone taking you through. It's 350 feet, but it feels a little longer.
Yeah, it definitely plays longer than 350 because it is a pure tunnel. You cannot really swing that disc. It's really hard to get it to dance and flip up. It has to be staying on a frozen rope.
That looks pretty good by Andres. Oh, come on.
Yeah, he swung it just a little bit wide, kind of trying to flex a wraith, letting it get that glide, but just a little bit early out of the hand.
Surprised he went wraith. Do you think he needs all that disc?
It's a comfort thing, I think, for Andres, and he throws the wraith really well. And
he does.
We just talked about the whole plays probably a little bit more than 350. So if you're comfortable throwing that, if you go 20 feet long, is that the worst thing ever? No, not at all.
That's a good point, especially on this hole. I've never seen anybody go long.
Yeah, it's rare.
Yeah,
very rare.
That was a good shot by Dylan there. He's probably circle 2, circle 3 with his FX4 off the tee, and here is Cooke with his buzz. Man, look at this smooth shot.
Yeah, it's amazing seeing one lefty throw a wraith and another lefty throwing buzz. And man, he is just so smooth, you can tell he's exploding and throwing hard, but
really
it just
hard.
Looks clean.
So did he tell you he gained 30 pounds of muscle?
Yes. Yeah. No, I talked to him about it, and that's why I bring it up. He told me, and this is funny. Early and some of the greatest tree kicks you'll ever find on this hole.
That was very fortunate. I will tell you that.
I will agree. I'm the first one to say I definitely apologize to everybody. I am sorry about that.
That's like that Ezra Robinson. He pulled that Olympus. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah. But Andres, what a great scramble. Throwing a Firebird right there. Just throwing what he needed to do to get up and down.
Yeah, veteran play.
Yeah, and honestly, taking a 3 here is definitely not the worst case scenario. It played 3.14, so just
what? You got all the way up there?
I got all the way up there and capitalized.
That is awesome. You have to capitalize if you had the look. And you
Yeah.
certainly had the look in the extension. That new putt was looking good,
Yeah.
Kyle.
I mean, that was one of those putts where sometimes you just step up to a putt and you're like, this is going in.
Mm,
It felt like it was not framed up, but everything felt like, yeah, I've got the perfect distance. I'm
yeah.
going to just put it there and it's going to swing in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cooke is so close with that one. And here we go with Dylan. I believe this is his par putt, which is just fine.
yeah. 13% of the field took birdies on it. There were 9 birdies. 65% of the field took par on this hole.
9 birdies, and that was a huge field.
Yeah, it was a big
Yeah.
field. So,
And I think it was the biggest welcome to the jungle field yet, right? I mean, 80 pros, I think. I know Bob was
Yeah,
very excited about that.
I didn't play last year's because I was injured, but this year was my first A-tier welcome to the jungle. But hole 4, 280 feet, par 3. This drone is definitely flying in the preferred window of the line here, but there's many different ways to get there.
Looks like you figured it out. What was that?
Yeah, that was a crux, the overstable mid from
I like
Space.
it. That's the play for you. I feel like you know how to throw a mid hard very well, almost better than anybody else that I know.
Yeah, and it just came up, just missed the tree you have to miss, and snuck up right by the pin. I mean,
Love
that is definitely what you want in this hole.
I mean, that's potentially another birdie for you back to back. That would be really momentum swinging for you.
Yeah, I would probably have to kick myself off coverage if I missed that putt, Rivis. So, Andres, he threw, what did he throw there? Was that Firebird?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, he went Firebird there, and he's looking pretty nice.
Dylan with his A5, just not getting all the way through. And I think he kicked right. Not the best kick for him.
Yeah, he tucked it in a little early. It would have been a slightly better shot line if it swung a little bit more outside and then in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let the disc do a little more work. I think he kind of forced it over.
Cooke is going to be throwing his zone here after the Firebird off the tee. I will say his upshots look absolutely effortless. I've never seen, he doesn't even put any energy or effort into it at all.
No. Yeah, and it's all standstill too. It's either, if he's not on the tee box, it's standstill.
Oh, but Dylan for his par. Come on, you can't get a bogey on this hole, Dylan. That's tough. I mean, I wonder how many people bogeyed this compared to pars. He's probably one of the few to bogey.
Let's see. It looked like there were 21 birdies.
That's a lot.
And there were 9 bogeys.
Okay, yeah. So he's one of the 10 almost.
Yeah. There were 10 birdies the previous hole, 10 bogeys this hole.
Hey, Kyle, that was not a gimme, okay? So I know you were pretty confident with that, but that was no gimme. Hole 5, tell us a little more about it.
Hole 5, 245 feet, par 3. It's coming in at 0.36 under par. So this is a hole where you really want to get the 2 on. It is straight. I believe the phrase is straight as a string, maybe a frozen rope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, at 245, you have to get this one.
There's a couple trees here where if you get past them, you can let it manipulate and fly a little bit. But straight is definitely what you want.
Pretty shot. What? No, that's inbounds, right?
That's super close.
Okay.
Yeah. From the tee box, we couldn't tell. You could tell I was visibly frustrated there because I was thinking I was OB.
And it's just such a pure shot. OB shouldn't even come into play on a nice hole like this. I don't know.
Yeah. Luckily, I found a spot where the rocks were a little bit closer to the line, but a lot of these lines here on Meadowbrook by this rock wall are a little off of. They're a little off of the rocks.
Yeah.
And there's Dylan's one backhand.
The one mistake, and that was with his A5. So, yeah, I mean, that's probably why he's sticking to the forehand. He's been so comfortable with the forehand. And it's just that was effortless. I mean, he makes it
Oh,
look so easy.
so good. And he
Yeah.
definitely says, should have done that off the tee.
Yeah,
We
right.
all agreed. I definitely
Yeah.
said it too as well. Andres landed on a bridge.
Of course he did.
Wow.
That's what you get for being the defending champion. Just luck like that.
Wow. What a spot to be. And he
Really was.
definitely, getting caught on those trees and getting pushed right onto circle's edge. That's not what you want on this hole.
No, it's going to be a tester, and Cooke is going to be settling most likely for his par. He couldn't translate the birdie there.
Yeah.
Wow, what the? He went all the way over there? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he filtered quite a ways.
Yeah, that's just deflating when you get that sort of roll. I don't like that.
Yeah, so this will be Dylan's par save.
All right, come on, Dylan. You got to get this one. You just got a bogey. All right, big hit.
Hey, there we go.
That could have been dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, that can get away from you from being just inside the circle.
Is Cooke reading? Is
Yes. Yeah, Cooke, he's studying for finals during this as
That's
well.
crazy.
So he showed up very very close to the tee time because I think he was saying he was either studying or finishing a final.
I can't believe that.
He is so smart. Like, he's actually getting a real college degree in
of course.
something.
There you go. Birdie putt for Kyle. That is a turkey, folks. Watch out now. He is tied with the current leader, Brad Schott.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I mean, you're killing it. I'm sure you didn't check scores yet because it's only 5 holes in, but I got to let the viewers know, Kyle.
Yeah, I did not look at this point, but, knowing that I'm now 3 down, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. You're on the pace that you probably wanted. Was there a certain mark that you needed or wanted to look at?
I just kind of approach this as in just see how it goes because you don't know how the wind's going to treat you.
Yeah,
sometimes, sometimes scoring is easy. Sometimes scoring is very difficult. Hole 6 could be a really difficult hole. 280 feet through a very tight tunnel. You got to go straight yet again.
This hole is strange because it says 276 feet, but honestly, it feels like 330 feet when you're entering this tunnel. It feels long.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those holes where, yet again, you have to throw harder than you think.
Beautiful shot. All right, I'm gonna guess that was a practice.
Hey, you are correct. That was a practice.
Nice. I'm getting better.
Yep.
That was a great shot. Unfortunately, Cooke does not get the same result as you. He was throwing his Geo Link, which is what he threw on hole 5. So, looks like he was going with a link or a putter there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a putter's a great play here. I would assume, most of the pro field, unless you're throwing forehand, you're probably able to throw mid to putter. Dylan's definitely throwing an A5, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That was money call. I'm surprised that he's able to throw A5 so straight. I thought it would be a little more flippy.
Well, he's got so many different A5s. He's got flippy ones. He's got straight ones. He's got beefcake ones.
Yeah.
He has that mold dialed.
Yeah, that's a good point. He really does. I remember him making a social post saying he had 5 of them or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, watching him and watching him throw that disc, it's like, oh, that's a great hit. Like they were made for each other. Dylan and A5s.
Finally, a match made in heaven. And hole 6, here's Andres for his birdie. Let's see if he can connect here. He really could use one after getting a bogey.
Yeah, he could. This would be huge.
Mm.
Ooh. A little bit of a little more than a roll away too than you want.
He's not getting the course love that he got last year. I'll tell you that much. Push it. Is that part of the new putt routine?
Yeah, that's a new putt where it's just coming out and just need a push and pop and go to the chains rather than just kind of throwing it out there. And there we go. There's Dylan.
Yeah, he's back. He's 1 down now. And good par save for Andres.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's sneaky distance right there where you can just let your mind get away and miss.
Oh, for sure. Especially if it's like a for par, you just missed a birdie.
Yep.
You're like, screw this hole. You're already thinking about the next hole.
Yep. Yeah. If you
And
just lose just enough focus, it can be too difficult for no reason at all.
yeah, it's a good call out. Absolutely. Hole 7, one of the most difficult holes on the day, I'm assuming, just because of how difficult the landing spot is, and then you're dealing with OB coming to the green. It requires certain touch off the tee. As you can see, you kind of have to dance around these trees and land sort of in the perfect spot where the drone is now, and then blindly shoot over a rock wall and then hope that you land in the perfect spot for your approach or putt. It's a very difficult hole.
Very difficult hole, but it did average at 4.01, so 0.01 above par.
Yeah, so it's a good hole. That shows you it's hard, but also it's a good hole.
Yeah. Yeah, there were, it was a great scoring spread. So it wasn't all pars, it wasn't all bogeys. Scoring was all over the place here.
What are you throwing off the tee, Kyle?
This is a glow Votum, so it's nice and overstable, kind of like a baby Firebird, and just trusting this backhand hyzer line.
Yeah, you got up there. It looks like, were you going to be able to see over the wall? That's the key.
Yeah. If you can see over the wall, you can definitely attack the pin. There's definitely places that make it easier to attack the pin. You don't see a lot of drives that get either on top or over the wall. It's just a really cool natural barrier.
Agreed. It is, and that's what it is, a natural element barrier, which you don't see a lot on courses. Like, it's either a creek or something, but not something that's like only 4 feet, above the ground, but still so much in your way.
Yeah, like you can see Dylan here, he's pretty far back. He had to run up just to look, and he decided, laying up, putting it right there, that is my best shot. He was out of position off the tee and just enough in the way and just enough OB on the other side of the barrier. You just can't throw a wild shot.
Oh, look at the Andres. Come on.
Sit down.
Whew. Okay, he's safe. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That was a really cool play. I don't know what he threw there, but that was a very...
It looks like, I'm pretty sure it was a Firebird. Just a nice halo star Firebird, and trusted to get out there and use that Firebird spike to get down.
Now, something that I have to mention with this, I think there's a new change. He moved the OB to be on the outside of those tree lines. Is that a correct statement? Because I feel like...
It is... That's how the OB has been on this hole ever since it went in.
Really? Because I thought it was more punishing, and I walked to it and I said, wow, this is a nice relief for players to have it on the outside.
On most of the other course, the OB is on the inside of the trees. This hole, the OB is on the outside of the trees.
Yeah, and that does helps.
It helps. It definitely is beneficial to the player, especially for these blind shots. When you're looking at the treetops, so, it is slightly less punishing, and I think it's one of those little intricates where when you know the course and the line is on the outside of the trees, it takes a little pressure away. Oh.
Yeah, that would have been great par save.
Come on, Andres, let's get you in here. Let's get that bird.
Yes.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
That's mean.
That one. These baskets, man.
Was it the basket, though, or just a little low? I don't know. Oh, that. Okay, Kyle. All right.
These baskets, man.
You get the Oscar for 2025. That was rude. That looked like a good putt.
I think these baskets, if something's coming in on hyzer and is right in the middle, if it just hits that perfect, not enough chain and gets to the pole too fast and pops.
We'll have to put that on socials. Your fall down, unfortunately.
Yeah, the flop out, flop to the ground. Hole 8, 375, par 3, slightly downhill to a pretty protected fairway. We've got this really cool down log that prevents skips. And kind of the opposite of the previous hole where you went from in the woods to out of the woods, you're going from out of the woods to into the woods.
Yeah, it's a good call out. And Cooke Tarlton got the birdie on the previous hole, so he had the box. Looks like he had a good shot with his Firebird. You're taking probably something a little faster, like what?
Coalesce.
Coalesce.
Coalesce, speed 9, overstable.
Okay, so it's almost like a Firebird, right?
Thunderbird-esque.
Thunderbird, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, this is a fun lefty line. You hit this road in here and get a good skip. It looks like Anders just a little too overcooked with his Wraith.
Let's see what Dylan takes here. This is going to be his A4, I think. No
It's going
way.
A4. That is
What?
I mean Dylan's insane, but I would have expected something a little faster, maybe an F series.
Yeah, I'm surprised he could throw an A4 that far. This plays
Yeah.
almost like 400. Little downhill, so I granted that. That's a good
Yeah,
approach for
he's-
you.
Just throwing what feels confident, comfortable.
What are you approaching there with? Are you still throwing a harp?
Soft harp.
Yeah.
We're on that soft harp train. Thing just throw it, hit, and sit.
My goodness, I wish I had an effortless up game like Cooke Tarlton.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
we were very close to each other, and he asked me to show him the line. So, but I believe he was jump putting with a buzz there.
That's an interesting way to do it.
Yeah, yeah, he's a madman. Jump putt with a buzz.
He's
Andre's
reading.
just laid up, which is smart. It's a tricky green. There's a lot of roots. You can get some rolls here.
And here's talk about tricky. Look at this horseshoe style putt that Dylan has to make. And wow. That's crazy.
That's absurd. Look at this.
You're getting excited for him. I love that.
Of course. Like, how?
Yeah.
Listen, if you don't get pumped up watching a horseshoe putt, I don't think you're alive.
You don't have any emotion out there.
Exactly. I mean, you got to enjoy the game while you're playing it.
So he's had a very up and down front nine, it looks like. Meanwhile, you're kind of cruising after your, hole 2 bogey. It looks like you're 2 down now.
Yep.
So you're kind of still in the mix with Brad Shot in terms of the lead here. And here we go, hole 9. This is 399 feet uphill the whole way up, but it doesn't feel 399. It feels like 450. It feels definitely longer, and it's
Yes.
a really good hole because you can choose to go left side or right side. Most players are going to choose the right side here.
Yep. Yeah, this is kind of choose your own adventure hole. Dylan loves this forehand up the gap. He has tooed it a couple of times with me, and I just didn't quite get the turn on it.
No, that was his D2. I'm surprised it didn't flip on him.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a footing issue or just not quite feeling it. Maybe put a little too much oomph into the horseshoe putt.
Well, shout out to Dave Chandler because I think they extended this tee pad after we talked about it last year. It looks
Yes,
like
yeah,
they made some good
put
changes.
Some backfill behind it so players can have a little bit more of a run up, and it's playing great. You know, it is now playing 0.42 under par, so I averaged a 3.58.
Wow.
So it's definitely a hole that most players are stepping up to and really feeling like you got to get the bird.
I am shocked that it's actually playing that easy because I don't feel like it's that easy if you get hit early. It's so hard to save your birdie chance, but I guess it's very difficult to bogey, I think, on this hole.
I mean, Rivas, we're talking about a par 4 that's under 400 feet.
It doesn't feel like it though.
Yes, it is uphill, but it's a par 4 under 400 feet. That's something you got to be birdieing.
And something that I think people don't realize is that they've done a lot of work to open up that left side too now. I mean,
Yes.
I looked at it and I was like, whoa, this is way more favorable than it ever was before. So I think I'm going to actually start taking this left side because of how open it is.
I know Harry Chase just throws that left side. But yeah, no, it is there. It is a very viable lane. It is a really nice way to approach this hole. It takes some stress off of the tee shot because you're not throwing
Yeah.
a tight tunnel.
Exactly.
But look at Andres here.
Yeah, that's the defending champion touch game that he has. Look how gentle that was.
That's so good. And it's good body control being in that outstretched position. Dylan from somewhere.
Yeah, on a slopey green. Like the way that he approached that was so gentle.
Yeah.
Cooke, easy putt right there.
Yeah, easy. Nice bird, dude.
Yeah, very easy bird. And that was his K1 Berg upshot after the destroyer tee shot. So he made that look pretty textbook.
Yeah, he had the shortest tee shot here out of the group, and he had the longest putt, but he made a great second shot. So you can see what was going on in an 80-person MPO field. Like, yeah, it makes sense.
Star Frame City. Well, that's the front nine coverage. Kyle, what are your thoughts there?
Oh yeah, my thoughts. Watching this spit out. Thank you a lot. Great front nine, super competitive players. Not as much scoring as we were all thinking, which is very strange, but I'm excited. I know there's more scoring on the back.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks again to our sponsors, Cosmic Disc Golf, Disc Golf IQ, first available print and apparel, Discmania, East Coast Metal Roofing. We couldn't have done it with all your added cash. I mean, this is a huge tournament. I think there was like $8,000 added cash. I mean, so huge thank you to the city of Fitchburg. Huge thank you to Bob Kulchuk and everybody that made this possible. Make sure to stay tuned. We got a lot more action coming up very soon.
Oh yeah.